during a quiet dinner. I shared stories from my wilder, younger days, never imagining how his response could shift everything between us in a single moment. That evening, I learned how a few careless words could fracture the trust in a relationship I believed unshakable. We were seated in an intimate restaurant, the soft lighting and gentle background music creating a private world at each table. I had dressed elegantly. He looked effortlessly handsome. For a rare moment, it was just the two of us, savoring each other's company, far removed from the noise and chaos of life. The food was exceptional, the ambience inviting, and the wine flowed just enough to smooth our conversation into an easy rhythm. That's when I made the mistake that changed everything. It started innocently. We laughed over memories of our past, sharing anecdotes from college, those reckless, carefree days that made us feel untouchable and alive. He told a funny story about sneaking into a concert without a ticket, and we both laughed, drawing approving glances from other diners. I felt so connected, so unguarded, that I thought I could tell him anything. You think that's daring? Wait until you hear what I got up to back then, I said with a playful grin, leaning closer. Without thinking, I dove into tales of wild nights, sunrise parties, fleeting romances, and choices I had long left behind. I expected amusement, perhaps an eye roll, maybe a teasing remark in return. But his expression shifted. The warmth in his eyes vanished, replaced by a stillness that made my chest tighten. He leaned back, Fort paused midair, silently observing me. There was no surprise, no humor, only a chilling realization, as if he were seeing me as a stranger for the very first time. I tried to keep the mood light, laughing along with my own stories, hoping he'd join in. He didn't. His face grew distant, his eyes carrying a weight I couldn't escape. A wave of shame rolled over me for the first time in years. The restaurant's warmth felt gone, the music grating, the lighting too harsh. I imagined everyone watching, judging. My hand shook slightly as I reached for my glass, about to ask what was wrong. Before I could, he spoke, his voice calm but icy. Why are you sharing all this? There was no anger, no raised tone, just a quiet intensity far more unsettling than a shout. I stammered, explaining that these were just stories, fragments of my past, not who I was now. But even to me, the words sounded hollow. In that instant, I realized how deeply he had trusted the version of me he thought he knew, the steady, dependable woman he envisioned a future with. With one careless confession, I had unlocked the door to a past he couldn't ignore. The meal continued, but the magic had gone. He ate almost silently, responses brief and polite, stripped of the warmth we had shared. I tried to reignite conversation, but every attempt fell flat. His glances carried judgment, each pause stretching unbearably long. When the bill came, he paid promptly, yet his eyes avoided mine. Outside, the night air hit me like a cold reminder of what had shifted. Something fundamental had changed, and it wouldn't be easy to fix. In the car, silence enveloped us. I wanted to apologize, to take his hand, to assure him that the person I had been then was not the woman sitting beside him now. But words failed me. I had been so eager to boast, and now, when it mattered most, I found myself mute. At home, there was no goodnight kiss, no familiar embrace. He murmured that he was tired and went to bed early. I lay awake in the dark, replaying every moment of the evening, feeling the weight of my own carelessness. The next morning, he was polite but distant, as if we were merely sharing space rather than a life together. That night gave me a painful clarity. The past doesn't always stay buried. Stories meant for amusement can unearth versions of ourselves others aren't ready to see. I don't know if that evening marked the end of us or simply a turning point. But one thing remains. His reaction wasn't anger. It was disappointment. And disappointment cuts deeper than resentment because it comes from someone seeing you differently than they believed, from realizing the person they trusted is not quite who they thought. That night, I saw it in his eyes, not bitterness, not resentment, but the sober truth that the woman before him wasn't the one he believed he knew.